This black hat ain't just backing down. One thing, homie, if you don't know me, SEO, I'ma always hold the crown. You're trying to play clean, just leave the scene. It ain't too late, better pack it up. You just gotta ask if you don't know me. Just know one thing, I ain't backing down. Any living thing that cannot coexist must cease to exist. It's a rap, yeah, that's it. Got a lot of tough talk for someone still on that government cheese. You still ain't got what you need. I think you done went crazy. I let your ass into my world and you popped up just like a daisy. Gave you a hand up instead of a handout. You must be sober and bored looking for some clout. Every time you go to your little crew, you block me just like a little punk dude. You still ain't even manned up. Mad about some fucking timestamps? Dude, shut the fuck up, you fucking dweeb. All you do is rank them long tail keywords. I know this must be a prank. That's why you been labeled Spam King of the Year. No worries, cause a real black hat is here. It's easy to see when you look at me. This black hat ain't just backing down. One thing, homie, if you don't know me, SEO, I'ma always hold the crown. You're trying to play clean, just leave the scene. It ain't too late, better pack it up. You just gotta ask if you don't know me. Just know one thing, I ain't backing down. I come at you with my black hat and shovel in my hand like the Grim Reaper to bury your ass. I size your body up and put some white chalk around it. Yeah, now let's talk about being grounded. You bitch about me, stealing your method when your dumb ass just gives it away. Now, use a Pop-Tart, sweetheart, you're soft in the middle. So stop acting hard, cause you weak and you brittle. I'll eat your hate for breakfast, now that's a good start. You have no history and you ain't even smart. You never ranked anything of value, nothing, never. So stop fronting, man, you ain't even clever. I put you out there and now you think you a big shot. Remember where you come from in case you forgot. What's given can be taken away. I ain't mad at you, I'm logging out, have a nice day. It's easy to see when you look at me. This black hat ain't just backing down. One thing, homie, if you don't know me, SEO, I'ma always hold the crown. You're trying to play clean, just leave the scene. It ain't too late, better pack it up. You just gotta ask if you don't know me. Just know one thing, I ain't backing down.
Hey guys, this is William. I'm going to have Daniel in here from VA Empire today. We're going to talk about all things virtual assistants, the good, the bad, the ugly, the dirty, the dark little hidden secrets that no one wants you to know about. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get Daniel from Empire in here. Give me 1 second. Oh, it's going to do it again, baby. There we go.
William, thanks for having me.
Good to have you in here. Give me 1 second. It's going to act goofy again. So, but let's see. Let me remove this. So we're just going to be talking. Let me go ahead and get captions in here. We're going to be talking all thing virtual assistants. So go ahead and drop your VA questions below and we'll get that rocking. Let's see here. Minute maximize. I want to maximize it. There we go. All right. Get all your virtual assistant questions in below. We'll be answering them. Make sure you give Restream access to your Facebook. Otherwise, all I'm going to do is say Facebook user. And if you don't give that to me, I'll just say, hey, Facebook user, and I won't know your name. So drop your questions below. So how you doing, Daniel?
I'm doing fine. What time is it?
It is 9:09 a.m. here in the States. It's East Coast to be 8 p.m. So
I'm in North Macedonia on the border of Albania, and it is 2:09 a.m.
A.M.
Shit, a.m. I'm jacked up on coffee.
And your wife's awake too? That's insane.
Oh yeah. We got the whole production team in the back, the cameras, the earpieces. We're all
awesome, bro.
Desmond was helping me make content. He's over here in the earpiece, like, oh, say this in your content, dude. I was like, yeah, this is awesome, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, I left my Bose headset at the other office of the other studio. So let's see here. We got government I don't know how to say the last name. I know I'm gonna screw it up. Handari. Nice to see you. Nice to have you here. And Balkans Rocks. Don't know who you are, but nice to have you here. So get your VA questions in below, and let us know if you have any, etc. Let's see here. It's not going to show that emoji, but I do see it, Mr. Bundari, the 100. So, I mean, tell me a little bit about yourself. I know I've been following you for a bit. I know you've been seeing my stuff for a bit, but kind of you do a VA agency, but you do it different than what we do. We do managed VAs, and you do something totally different. So I kind of want to, learn a little bit about you, and then also we'll get into your experiences and the ups and downs, the dark little secrets that no one wants to tell nobody the fuck about. So
Everybody's scared to talk about. No one wants to talk about. All right, so let's just keep it really short and simple. I'm from Buffalo, New York. Broke my heart yesterday to say that, but but I'm from Buffalo, New York, dude. I love traveling. Left Buffalo, went to Seattle, went to Miami. Kind of got a sales career in Miami. Got my foot inside the door. From Miami, I ended up in Eastern Europe. Just kind of rolled the dice. Took a plane trip. Had an opportunity to open up a call center, build a call center with a with a partner, and more or less, just really just came out to Eastern Europe. Never been out here in my life, and I wanted to be able to live in Brickell. In case you guys don't know, Brickell is the high society of Miami, and it was always my dream to have a business, to make that money and drive that Mercedes. Now my perception is a little bit different, but started off as an appointment setter. I was in, we came out here, we opened up a call center, and we were into credit repair. And we started off with about 2 to 4 people. My wife was one of the first appointment setters I trained. She was so good, I had to marry her. Yeah. So back then, they weren't called VAs. Like VA is kind of like, it's almost like a new term, like since 2020. I really haven't heard VA prior to 2020, BPOs, call centers, call agents, contact centers. But more or less, we were really good at setting appointments. We were really good at sales, and we had a really good working model, really good processes, a really good converting SOP when it came to setting that appointment, a really good converting SOP when it came to actually making a sale, and of course a PCI compliance for taking payment. So we had like all our ducks in a row where we were able to start building out more call centers. We're talking about 40-man teams, 70-man teams. And I had a bunch of people that were just in my network, and they heard that, the average payout here was $250 a month.
Yep.
And they like, and back then, the people ask me like, is that livable? I'm like, well, you got to understand the culture. Families, they live with each other. I wouldn't pay someone 250. I would pay them a little bit more just because, I want to pay, my people above average, but that's just me. That, but people were like, basically like, I want to say almost like knocking at my door, dude, on Facebook, on my phone, from the same space. We want employees. We want employees. And it wasn't until like, I want to say a year later that we started actually helping other people hire in the same space. Now, things change. We started running the BPO model, the outsource managed type of model.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've seen it all, dude. It was just a pain in the ass. It was, kudos to you guys that are, still running that model and that have the patience. I've been there, done that. It's just, you have to have everything.
You definitely have to have your shit together, and you got to have management. You can't just have a bunch of VAs and think everything's going to be cool. And that's where I think most people kind of, I mean, even with, they want to just hire a VA at a cheaper rate. They think they're going to get a VA. They're going to be an employee, and then they're going to just magically fulfill all their dreams and fantasies without them ever having to explain anything, do any walkthroughs, do any stops, do any trainings. And generally speaking, for the most part, they're going to fail and fail miserably because they don't know how to communicate. And then besides not knowing how to communicate, then they're not giving their VAs proper training. And that's the two reasons I think most VAs fail. It's lack of training and lack of communication, because in a normal environment, if you will, you have a job, you have a boss with a physical building, you can walk into it and they get to know you. They go, well, Daniel likes black coffee, or Daniel doesn't like coffee and Daniel likes tea, or this pisses Daniel off. And hey, Daniel does this every morning when he gets here. But you don't have that as a virtual assistant, and they expect you don't have to do any training whatsoever. And that's just not the case. You're always going to be involved until you get management involved, like proper actual management, project management, operations manager, stuff like that. So, because I've done it the way you're talking about, where it was just a little old me, we had no management, and that sucks. And then I got some training. So
it is a real it's a real learning curve. And I want to add something. First off, a lot of people that want to hire a virtual assistant, they don't even understand just the culture of where they're hiring. They don't understand the religious holidays. They don't understand the national holidays.
Yeah, that was a big one for me, because you come over here in the States, we have, like Christmas, Easter, New Year's, Halloween. Over here, we got fucking 30 different holidays, and the president or the senator or wherever you're living could actually go, hey, tomorrow's an unofficial holiday. And guess what? They all get paid too. They all get paid because officially you're supposed to pay them. And it could be because of a saint's holiday or whatever. It could be Saint Nino was the last one we just had this past month. So, and I respect them.
Someone asked, do I like Balkans or PH for VAs?
Do you like Balkan or PH for VAs better?
I live in the Balkans. So here's the thing. I think there's talent everywhere globally. Every region is going to excel in certain type of fields. Like I feel like the Philippines, customer service, customer support, account manager, just making people generally happy and having a really strong work ethic is like amazing in the Philippines. When it comes to the Balkans, I think like if you're looking for anybody in the IT space, the Balkan region of Europe, Eastern Europe, Southeastern Europe, Balkans, you're going to find great people in the IT space. But there's really phenomenal talent everywhere. It all depends on how good your recruitment process is. I mean, if my recruitment process is good, I could find a great salesperson, a closer in the Philippines. It all depends on how good your recruitment process is. So there's good talent worldwide. It doesn't matter if you're in the Philippines, doesn't matter Balkans, doesn't matter Latin America, Caribbean, Africa. There's great talent. There's phenomenal talent globally. We're in a global economy and a global market.
Yeah, and then it's also a matter of where you live at. Like in the Philippines, if you want fluent English, usually you're going to have to go to Cebu, Manila, BGC, Davao, different places like that. I live in Surigao. I also have another office in Pagadian. In Pagadian, they do communicate in English, but they're not so great in it. The one that I do have that helps me with the customer service, he worked in Cebu, so he's fluent. His name's Edsel, and he's great with customer service and helping me manage and stuff. So, and then my other manager, she's fluent. She's a nurse. She's in Pagadian. Now my personal assistant, fluent in English. She went to school. She actually used to teach in school. And then my other customer service rep, fluent in English. Now the rest of them, they're fluent in English, but they're shy. And so what I have to do is I get them books on overcoming being shy. It's like, it's not that you're necessarily shy, you lack self-esteem. And I told him, believe it or not, I used to be an introvert. And my wife said, yeah, then he can't shut up anymore. So, but I went through a really bad divorce, had some tragedy,
Ouch.
had some trauma hit me. And then after that, I started playing poker professionally and then, or semi-professionally. And then from there, I became more controversial or more confrontational with people. I wouldn't allow people to talk about me because you'd be at the table playing and someone would say, "Man, you're crazy," and they'd be mumbling under your breath. And I'd say, "If you're gonna be man," I'd literally look down at the table and be like, "If you're gonna be man enough to say it to my fucking face." And I'd tell them, I had people that would literally go, "Man, you don't know what you're doing." I say, I'd call the floor because they knew me. I'd call Shane, come here. I say, "Go get a dealer." Dealer comes out. I say, "Go get $5,000 out of your bank and let's put it all in or nothing." Shut up instantly, and they get up and leave. So I used to not be that way, but
I'm the
it's
total
just crap.
opposite of you. I used to be like different, like very confrontational. Now I'm just like sit back, listen, just kind of like hear what someone's gonna say, and just let And then I like if they say stupid stuff, I just repeat like the stupid stuff that they said. just like
I will
So
kind of
that's
do
just
that. I'll have people ask me, ask me a question, and I'll say, so tell me again, tell me again what you want to know. But I get that a lot. So if you could say, what's probably the number one lesson, the hardest lesson that you've learned working with virtual assistants, what would that be? Because it's not always sweet and a bed of roses.
I mean, it really depends on what stage. Like there's there's stages of you being, running a business, right? I hate using the word business owner, but that's the word that resonates with people. Because there's no such thing as a business owner. You're either a freelancer or a shareholder. I mean, but you talk about that very well. It really depends on what stage that you're at. Because I honestly, I like being humble, dude. Understanding that they're people, understanding that they have families, not coming in with that mentality that anybody's replaceable. There's a lot of guys that come in with that mentality. Number one thing I could learn is just that I could say that I've learned is just building a very strong team and a foundation. That's the number one thing that I would say.
So what would you say is the key to building that strong foundation? Because you hear a lot of talk about culture nowadays, especially from Gary Vee. Gary Vee mentions culture all the time, and he has a book on the 12, basically the 12 emotions that most business owners or freelancers should have when dealing with people and communication. It's a really good book. I've read it. I have it. And but he talks about culture a lot. My mentor Zeke talks about culture just in a different sense. Brunson, he talks about culture in a different sense. So how do you deal with when you say culture? What are you talking about? And what's the number one key that you would say is to building culture in a VA agency?
So I'll talk about the foundation, the three keys, like the three key foundations that I like building: marketing, sales, fulfillment. When it comes to culture, the culture I'm talking about is more like the mannerisms, understanding what the mannerisms. Listen, if I'm from New York, you're going to understand that I'm going to have certain mannerisms that someone from, I don't know, Nebraska is not going to have, right? So understanding those mannerisms, like where I live right now, the mannerism is very chill. It's drink some coffee. It's not like hustle bustle, like New York City. So
New York, no one ever
understanding,
sleeps. So when you're talking about culture, you're not necessarily talking about woo woo, or if you will, make everybody happy or provide the workplace where everybody's gonna be happy and jolly. You're talking about understanding their background, their culture, how they act, and how they may talk, and how they may react, and not just in your own little bubble where you think, well, I'm from New York and this is how I communicate. Well, what about how they may receive it and how will they communicate back to me?
when in Rome, do what the Romans do.
Yeah.
You're not going to listen. If you're from the US and you think that you're going to hire overseas talent and you think that you're going to go into someone's backyard and you're just going to automatically make them act like you, it's never going to happen.
Yeah,
You
you're a
have
fucking
to,
idiot if you think that. It's like I had my mentor told me, he goes, he told my daughter when we moved to the Philippines, he goes, listen, you may think you know a lot of shit and you may think you're the number one fucking country in the world, but guess what? Now you just moved to the Philippines. You're in their country, in their land, around their people, with their language. You better, if you will, transform yourself to be able to be around them, understand them. They're never going to change in a lot of ways, but they're great people and it's a great place to live. But you can't come over here thinking you're the shit, because you're going to find out real quick you are not the shit. And a lot of times it seems like when someone hires a virtual assistant, especially first world people, they go, well, I'm hiring this person really cheap, and they almost treat them like they're dirt. They almost treat them like, they almost treat them like, you are so replaceable. I'll get anybody else for you. And I'm going to pay you $200-$300 a month. That's fine. Pay them $200-$300 a month or whatever, but give them bonuses. Actually care about them. These are real human beings that God made, whatever you believe. But the thing is, most of them act like they're underneath them. You need me because I'm Mr. First World Country. No, motherfucker, you need them because they're the ones doing the work for you. The reason why you came to the Philippines or wherever you're outsourcing to, whether that's India or wherever, is because you needed them. Because if you wanted to go get it in the States, you know it's going to cost you $50,000-$60,000 a year. So stop acting so arrogant. Stop acting so much like you're on your high fucking horse.
And payroll taxes.
Yeah, payroll taxes. I still got payroll taxes over here. So all mine are employees except the VAs. So,
you know, I don't like when I meet clients like that think like, oh, you know, let me tell you a little bit about, you know, how I operate. It's a little bit different than just any VA placement agency operates. We don't even let our clients do interviews. When people come to us and they're saying, we need your help hiring, you know, what we're trying to do is we're trying to do a personality match. It's just not, it's just not finding the, you know, I can't find you an A player if you don't have an A player environment. First off, anybody saying I'll find you an A player is full of shit. Okay. Second off, I'm going into your organization. I'm auditing. I'm making sure that you have an organized organization, that you have processes, you have converting processes, and we're bringing in someone who's going to be a long lasting, you know, basically employee inside your organization, and that they're going to be a personality match and they're going to be a right fit. So like when a client starts asking us like, hey, you know, line up, you know, 3 or 4 interviews, no, because you wouldn't know what good talent looks like, you know, if it smacks you in the face. I mean, I know what good talent looks like. We put our VAs through, you know, 3 or 4 interviews, a week or 2 of training, depending on what the position is and what type of VA they are. Evidently, I can't train them on JavaScript, but you know, if it's an IT VA, but if it's like a sales VA, appointment setter, customer service, customer support, social media manager, you know, that type, you know, marketing, you know, we're really good at really just vetting and figuring out, because every VA isn't going to be a right fit with John, Jerry, or Joe. You know, and also a lot of these VAs, and I know this is like going to be so controversial, and hey, you know, my fellow Americans are going to hate me for this, but not a lot of people trust American business people. They just don't.
100% fact.
The VAs don't trust you guys. They literally they literally get burnt. They don't get paid. They go on Upwork. They get chargebacks. They go on Fiverr. They get chargebacks. So they come to people like William, like myself, like other BPOs, like other you know VA placement agencies or outsource agencies. And we basically put our stamp that you're going to be a good employer, that you're actually going to be a decent employer.
And by the time they come to someone like yourself or me, now we're dealing with, if you will, damaged goods because of some dumbass that doesn't want to pay them, or they'll sit there and do like you said. For instance, you go get a virtual assistant. They'll do all the work. They'll pay them, and then, oh, I didn't like the work, so they'll do a chargeback on PayPal or Stripe or however they're using it. Next thing you know, now they don't have any money. Now their PayPal account's down. Now you fucked them over and their entire family, all because you had a little issue that you couldn't resolve. And then they come to someone like, running a BPO agency or a VA agency, and we now have to develop trust with them that, hey, we actually give a shit about them. It's like we actually outsource sharks, not just Rank Fortress, but we have a fund. Basically, there was recently we had someone that had an accident on their motorbike, and we helped contribute to them and help them in the hospital. What fucking job does that? They don't do that. They give you insurance, and that's about it. But the thing is, most people act like they don't care about them. And when you act like you don't care about someone, don't be surprised when they act like they don't care about you. You're going to get whatever the fuck you put out.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've got really good at just refusing business just because I know that they're not going to treat
the type
they're
of
just
person
like
they are. They got to get the feel that this is going to be, if you will, an a-hole of a client, and they're going to treat your people that you've spent your time and effort into as crap. And you're like, I don't want that. That it's not worth it. It's not worth the money.
One time I had a client, right? And no one will ever understand this except people that live abroad and run businesses like you and I, right? But one time I'm consulting for this call center. And this call center hired me to hire all these employees. They wanted to build a 100-man team, and they had one big client. And the client wanted to merge, and the client did a merge, and all of a sudden, once they did that merge, they wanted to just let go. I don't know, it's like 20 to 40 employees. And I'm like, I'm telling them, I'm like, do you understand the reputation that what that's going to do to everybody's reputation inside this organization? 40 families are going to be like, people just don't understand how important reputation is in these developing countries. So we're extremely very careful on who we're placing the VAs with. The same way that a client wants me to vet a virtual assistant and make sure they're getting a quality employee, I'm also making sure that VA is getting a quality, and that I'm vetting and get that VA is getting a quality employer.
It's one of the things I said in one of my shorts. It's like, for instance, most VAs will never, they're like, most people or most VAs or most freelancers in general think, well, I'll never be able to have a client that's going to pay me $1,000, $2,000 a month. That's bullshit. The fact is, yes, if you go after the same client like everybody else goes after, the lowest paying, and try to go to the bottom as quick as possible, yes, you're going to get crappy ass clients. You're going to get clients going to treat you like shit. But if you level up on your skills and your abilities through learning and teaching, and maybe taking a lower paying job so you can learn and get the skills, right? That you have to do. I've had to do it. I guarantee you've done it. But then once you get to that level, now I can be picky on who I actually want to take on as a client. Even if you're in the Philippines, you can still take on a client that's $1,000, $2,000 a month. And guess what? They're paying someone in the States $4,000 or $5,000 a month. So they're still going to want to pay you that $2,000 or $3,000 because they're saving their money there. They're saving on payroll. They're saving on taxes, everything else. But level up and look for very specific clients to deal with. If you're going to do it as a freelancer.
Yeah. Freelancing, most agency owners are freelancers with an LLC. But if you're talking about VAs, so when you hire a VA, whether you're hiring locally, whatever, right? You have to understand, is this like, and this is where I argue about the commission-based setters. I don't know if you see commission-based setters are kind of becoming a hype.
I've seen it.
And I totally disagree with commission-based appointment setters. One, because those are entrepreneurs. Those are people. Those are basically freelancers who will grow and build their own business.
That's kind of their point. That's why they want to do it. They're going to wind up taking on 3 or 4 clients minimum, and you think they're over there working for you, only you. You're a dumbass, because they're not working only for you. And their end game is to get their own agency going.
Yeah, and second off, I just totally disagree that someone should have to rely on getting paid based on someone else's, the salesperson that's closing that deal's performance. So a
Yeah.
lot of people dislike me because they're like, "Oh, you hate on
Yeah,
commission-based appointment
appointment
setter."
setters are totally different. To me, that should be hourly or flat rate, not commission. Why would you fucking do commission based on appointment? Because you're going to wind up basing it off of your salesperson's ability or lack thereof to actually close a damn sale. You know.
Yeah.
Now there are closers over in the Philippines as well that will actually close. That's where I'd say yes, give them commission because they're actual closers. They're not appointment
Yeah.
setters. So
Now, appointment setters, I mean, you can give them bonuses, you can give them commission, but give them a base pay.
as you
Everybody wants
should.
everybody wants security. If someone's coming to me and they're like, I want a commission only. Oh, my daughter woke up. Hold on. My wife's wrong.
No, let me answer this real quick. So, Ron, you said, "Hi, William. I manage 5 GMB clients. I'm getting ready to gear it up to about 50 clients." And then you follow that up with, "We are going after clients that are not in the 3-pack, actively manage their profile to move the latter 3-pack. Do you have VAs that understand those processes?" Every one of our VAs in that specific department, yes, understand it. I have specific VAs that are only for SEO on page, only for SEO off page, only for content, only for social media, Google Maps, all of it. So just you're on, Ron, you're on let me send this over to you, but you're on YouTube. If you want to, just message me over at Facebook. Now, once again, if you want a VA, realizing you're basically going to be getting an employee, okay, so we need to have a talk before you decide to do whatever you want to do, Ron. Okay, so PM me there and I'll give you a discovery call link so we can actually talk and see what type of person you are, what type of person you're looking for. So, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just looking at Ron, I'm just like thinking, I'm like, because I remember I seen some of your training on how you were bringing all your new recruits in, and you were just training them all in SEO, and I was like, oh, that's so badass. That is,
yeah. What happens is I
stuff.
physically sat down with my leaders and I trained them on SEO and out. So Rank Fortress is different. That's just white label. Outsource Sharks, whom I'm a partner with Kirk Roldan of Roldan Digital. We brought in the VAs and we train them on page SEO, off page SEO. And then the other benefit I have of having 2 agencies is I bring in my other VAs, or not even VAs, my other ones that are actually employees, and they cross train. And mind you, these VAs have been with me for 2 years. So they know everything I've basically taught them about one page. Because anytime I'm updating anything, I'm teaching them. Like I have a new process. I'm working on geolocation pages right now that I'm having them learn. Once that's implemented, then it gets implemented across all of our clients and everything. And then they'll teach our people over here how to do it. So, but we're always trying to help them. So thank you, Ron. Appreciate it, bud.
And you work with like, you target business owners or like other SEO agencies?
Generally speaking, it's mainly agencies. They may not even do SEO and they may do Google ads and they want to outsource to Rank Fortress. So they'll outsource to us, a white label to us. Then we have a couple of, one person, one business, and that's it. They're not an agency. They just want help ranking and they'll go to Rank Fortress. Now, when they want a VA, I actually am able to tell them, say, so do you want for it? This is my number one question when you're looking for VA usually. Are you wanting someone you're going to have to communicate with on a daily basis? Yes or no? No. Okay, then you want to go to Rank Fortress because you want the ability to give us your website. We rank it, we do it, and at the end of 30 days, we give you reports. That's it. Hands off. Now, if you want hands on and training and communication and run an actual business, then you want to build up your own team, that's where you come in with virtual assistants. But it requires you as the quote unquote business owner or the person running that business to actually know what the hell you're doing and to level up on your management skills and your people skills. So, and it's going to take you to a whole nother level. To me, whenever you're a freelancer, you bring on clients, anybody can do that. Try managing, 10, 20, 100 actual employees. It's a whole nother level. It's
Yeah.
not easy.
No, that's why we used to I can go back to like maybe 2 years ago. We used to do that whole SOP
Used to do BP,
building.
yeah, used to do the BPO
Yeah.
route, which is essentially what we are.
Yeah, and then we left the BPO route and we started going after the agency owners, but we realized that agency owners, they still didn't have like a real business. They were just freelancers. So we were like building out their we were coming in, we were doing the market research, we were trying to identify who their avatars are, what their ideal client personality is, create their messaging, put together their SOPs, their organic marketing,
That's
their cold
insane.
calling scripts. And I was just like, I'm like, man, I'm done with this, man.
You're
I
basically
need guys
building their damn business
yeah.
because they don't know
I'm
what
like,
the hell they're doing.
I'm like, and I sat down with our team and I'm like, guys, we need to target people who already have converting processes.
Yeah.
And I am no longer working with people that don't have converting processes. And once we started targeting, agencies that, they had their shit together. They had their converting processes, whatever processes they are, if they're running ads or doing organic marketing, they got some email going, they got some Google I'm not really familiar with the whole Google, a lot of the Google stuff, but they got some inbound from Google, whatever the case may be. They got metrics, they got KPIs, they know exactly, they know exactly what their conversion rate is from all the way from cold to closed. So we wanted to go after those type of clients. And once we started going after those type of clients, and it wasn't more or less us going after them. They were coming after us. That's what it, turned into. And we just identified the bad experiences that they were having with other virtual assistant companies. And we made ourselves completely different. And of course, the experience and, kind of, going through the ins and outs, the BPO model, then shifting over to the placement model, then, the SOP building. We had enough experience to know what works and what doesn't work. So, we just figured out who our ideal client.
Experience.
Yeah.
Most people pray for a business and then they realize, hey, I got to have experience, and experience isn't pretty. Experience is very dirty.
Most people are just, they open a business because they buy a $97 course that tells them to go hire a VA. And all of a sudden, now they're freaking renting cars from, off of one of these apps and renting Airbnbs, taking lifestyle photos, faking their freaking their snapshots, posting it as social proof, buy my course, look how much money I'm making. You can make the same amount of money. And they're just Googling it up.
Yeah, and that's what people. I'm so sick of seeing that. It's like most of these people that people listen to, quite honestly, and they're like, "Well, this person told me to do this and this and this." And it's like, this is what you need to do next time you're on a fucking call with one of these people that are teaching these courses and shit, or you see them in their Lambo or their Instagram shit. And I'm not knocking any of that because I personally have nice houses, I have nice vehicles, I have anything I pretty much want. But the fact is, ask them how many employees they have. Why aren't they sharing the fact that, hey, here's how much payroll tax I paid. Here's how many actual employees I have. They're out there pitching, if you will, and I'm not knocking it, but let's say go high level, or they're pitching some other tool, right? And that's all they talk about, acting like they got a business. Reality is they don't have no damn business. They're pitching it because they're getting a commission off of it. And they are a, if you will, influencer. That's it. An actual business, actual payroll taxes, actual employees, actual shit you go through,
Dude, I literally seen like 3 people today selling a strategy on how to pay for DM shoutouts. And my wife was like, "What's a DM? Like, what do you mean DM shoutouts?" I'm like, "Well, these people are telling other business owners to reach out to influencers and have the
Mhm.
influencers lie about how great their business is." And I'm just like, what the, and and people are buying it up. And I'm like, what is it turning into, dude? Like, just, I mean, you might as well just pay for fake freaking reviews at this point. So I'm just like, yeah, man. You know, I mean, we're in a digital revolution. Things are gonna change, but yeah, man.
Yeah, it's
I don't,
like
I don't.
here's another one for you because we just got this come in. AI, okay, AI, Open AI, choose any AI, Jarvis AI, ScaleNut AI. Everybody tells you AI is going to replace human writers and virtual assistants. You're full of shit. Because the
Oh
fact of the
well,
matter is, okay, you are probably the same person that believes that you can go buy an SEO backlinking tool that's going to give you the same quality, high authority backlinks that you can from other websites, which it's never replaced. The only thing it give you is crappy output. Most of the AI out there is giving you decent at best output, but Google has already got it to the point where it knows if it's AI content. So
yeah. AI is a tool.
to help
Um,
you, to help, to assist,
yeah,
not
yeah.
replace. This is where people think that they're going to be replaced by. It's like, give me a break, man. With that
I
crap.
mean,
It's like y'all are what most marketers are. Y'all teach people to chase after the shiny object so you can get some money. And so you can, if you will, rape someone's pocketbook over, hey, it's AI. Let me sell this tool. And you make your couple of $100,000 off of it, promoting the shit out of it. And then when it becomes absolutely useless in a year or a couple of months, then you're going to be promoting the next shiny object. And that's a
well,
fact. That's the way most marketers are.
I love the AI tool because you're going to
Yep.
have a bunch of people that are going to create really shitty content. Google's
Yep.
going to realize
Penalize
it.
it.
And the people that are actually authentic and the people that are actually creative
Mm.
and are actually writing out of emotion, Google's going to recognize that. And they're the ones.
I have a friend. Let me find it. Keep going. I'm going to find this and show you
Yeah,
all this.
I mean, that's like AI is not replacing, dude. I mean, yeah, AI is not replacing VAs. I mean, nothing's gonna beat a human. Nothing's gonna beat that emotion. I mean, AI is not gonna call you and is not gonna sell you. The AI is not gonna problem solve and is not gonna provide you a solution. You're not gonna connect at an emotional level with an AI. It's just not going to happen. And it's insane for anybody to say AI is going to replace VAs. What is going to happen is AI, there may be some jobs that do get replaced, but it's going to open up more jobs because guess what? People are going to have to man that AI. People are going to have to understand how to write the prompts, uh, how to clean up, any errors that the AI wrote, how to put it into a rewriting tool so Google doesn't pick it up as AI wrote it.
AI
It's
detection.
just it's yeah, it's just gonna open up more jobs.
I
It's not gonna like
literally have a friend. His name's Frolin, and I've met him. He works over here. He's a VA and has his own little team. But he just recently got hired. The company fired 100 employees. Outsourced it to the Philippines for content writing, right? He's got a team of, I believe, about 12 or 13 people, and they simply leverage AI with human writing and emotion. So, and there are people that say, well, humans, I got this to that. There are humans, they don't even know how to read or write. It sucks. Well, first off, when it comes to SEO, if you think someone's going to actually sit there and read fucking 5,000 words of content, you're a moron. This is why people are going to short form content. Most people read the first page, first few paragraphs. That is it. The reason why you got to write content that's so damn good and know what you're doing with AI is because of Google, not because of the fucking
yeah.
person going to be reading it. If you think someone's going to be sitting there reading all that shit, you got busier things to do. People got family, kids, they got work. problems, everything else.
the way Google indexes it
It's like a matter of, are you writing it so Google will actually go, oh, they're writing for people, not for, here's one for you. You hear this term all the time, write for people, not for the what? Search engine. The search engine is nothing more than an AI. The search engine of Google is nothing more than an AI. Google tells you, write for people, not for the AI, the search engine. So you're always going to have that human connection regardless. And if you think you're just going to take AI and it's going to fly by Google, Google's a multi-billion-dollar business. Please.
I just
AI
don't think
is going to replace. Please.
I don't see how AI is going to replace cold calling. Shit, you can't even run a robodialer without.
People hate robocalls, bro. They hate robocall messages, and you think someone's going to robocall and sell them? Fuck that shit out of here. They hate robocall customer service. They don't even like pressing 1, 2, or 3 to select who they want to talk to, right? And to answer their questions. Then they have to go through all these loops just to actually talk to a human. People want human connection, period. People are made to want socially human connection.
I think maybe like 100 years from now, people like AI, once it evolves and it takes over the world, they're going to talk about like the anti-robocalling was a dark era, a dark period of
I think hundreds of years from now, like for instance, you'll have flying cars, you'll have all that shit, you'll have the Jetsons, you'll have everything that was in the Jetsons, the cartoon is happening, right? Hundreds of years, but people are worrying about like dude, it's happening. It's going to happen in the next 2 years. It's going to change the world.
Anti-robodialing was such a dark era of humanity for the AI.
Yeah, it's like, you got to, if you believe in evolution, think of this. If you believe in evolution, how long did it take for humans to evolve to get to the point where we are now? If you think the AI is going to take on human emotion and connection and social abilities, stuff like that, it's going to take a bit of time. It ain't going to happen overnight. So it may happen, but we're still trying to figure it out. Yeah, you barely understand the human body. Barely understand the human body, and people think AI is going to magically take over. You're literally listening to people that use 20% of their brains, and we think AI is going to take over. Get the shit out of here with that crap. I just can't.
AI ain't replacing virtual assistants. Don't worry, guys. You're all safe.
Yep. Jeff, he's from Manila, says, hello. The more I meet people, the more I love my dog. Very much so. I love my dog.
What kind of dog? What kind of dog do you have?
What type of dog do you got, Jeff? I have an American Bully. So
I just kicked out my Lagotto Romanolo. It was too needy. I had to get rid of it.
Yeah, my American Bully is actually with one of my boys, so he watches them. Yes, sir. Yeah. Fired up. Love it. Carpet compass repair. So if you got any questions, actually ask us. We'll just sit here and talk about VAs and different things all day long. But now that what is the biggest difference between managing VAs?
Collie Lassie.
Yeah, between managing VAs and doing what you do, which I would call personally headhunting. In the States, that's what we call it. So it's like you find the talent, you find the agencies, and you kind of pair the people that will work great together. Whereas an actual BPO is different. But what would you say is the biggest difference between what you do and what someone like myself or a BPO does?
Okay, so in my experience, now this is my experience, doesn't mean it's your experience. In my experience, the difference is that when we basically, do the headhunting, the training, and we assist with kind of coaching the business owner, we'll use that term, business owner. I hate that term, but we'll still use it. We're holding them responsible for running their own business. We're helping them grow past the idea of hiring and I'm not putting any BPO down, you know, but like we want them to grow into actually being able to run their own business. When we were using the BPO model, they relied on us, and any mistake and every mistake that they have inside their
Mm-hmm.
own business ends
Mm-hmm.
up being the BPO's fault.
BPO's
Well,
fault,
yeah,
because
oh.
what they think is when they hired the BPO, they're hiring someone to manage their VA. And that is not the case unless you get a project manager, and that's what
Yeah.
you're getting on top of your other VAs. You're not getting a BPO to manage your own damn employees.
And
I mean,
yeah,
that's one
so
of the
that
things I found.
I- it was just like, I mean, you ever have one of those clients, and this is back in the day, I would never take on a client like this, but and this isn't like a client hate podcast, by the way. We love you guys. We're talking about like the worst clients in the world, but that client that just like changes the script every day. And it's like, dude, let the guys, you know, kind of do their thing. Let them learn, let them get used to the
Yeah.
script. Like, don't change it every day, you
And then
know.
the other thing
And
is for us, for one of the things that we're different from a BPO is, for example, all of them are trained in my SOPs, right? But if you come to me and you have a different SOP, you give it to me, I will physically go through it, make it a true SOP, train them on it, walk them through it, and then once they're ready, I say, "Hey, Daniel, they're ready. Here's an output. Here's an example," and they're like, "Oh, that's amazing." But the problem is, most people don't sit there and go, "Hey, here's an SOP. Let me check it out." I got on a call last night with a guy, and he was showing me his SOP. I said, "Well, for example, you told him to write about home renovations. You never told him you don't do these type of home renovations. You didn't tell them what you don't do. You just told them what you did." And anytime we're going to write about home renovations, that includes bathroom, kitchen, flooring, garage, everything, the entire house. So you got to say, I don't want this. So we make a true SOP, where I think a lot of people, especially when you're dealing with a BPO or VA, they expect the person just to know like there's some kind of psychic. We got a question from
yeah,
here. This is for you, Gerard. Currently an SEO VA, is it worth a shift into starting a pay-per-click agency? There are a lot of aspects of SEO and pay-per-click is a little bit more streamlined. I think you're fooling yourself because if you think pay-per-click is streamlined, you know, there's a lot more testing in pay-per-click to me. A lot more landers, a lot more split
I
testing.
think
Whereas,
he wrote more. He said
yeah,
context is my current setup
context
is.
is my current step is all I do is aspects of SEO and page technical off of each other tasks. So why is it that you're wanting to go into pay-per-click? Is it because you think it's easier? There's not as many aspects to do in it, which is what it sounds like. Because if it's that there's not that many aspects, you're fooling yourself. Because an ad, for example, if you put an ad out, it might be to people that are about pets, and you may do pet food ad, and you think it's fine, and you got a little kitty cat up there. You're going to show that to people that love dogs, okay? Because you got to do different ads and stuff. You got to split test things. I personally have done pay-per-click. I think it's harder than SEO. Pay-per-click for me, because Facebook will literally shut down an ad account, Google will shut down an ad account just because you don't know you shouldn't. You're a gym and you shouldn't be showing a sexy woman or a sexy man. They don't want that body image. They don't want to offend anybody, and then they take down your damn ad account over some stupid crap. So
I want to add. I want to add something. Listen, I don't know anything about SEO. Okay, but you know, he's asking a question: Is it worth it to shift into starting a PPC agency? Well, let me tell you something from a marketing perspective. Right, asking us, we probably wouldn't be the best people to answer. What you should do is you should find your ideal client, your audience that you want to work with, go into groups, ask them these questions, see how they resonate, see what their answers are. And if they say, hey, you know what, yeah, we would like PPC, or hey, no, we like SEO, your audience is going to be the ones that are going to be able to answer. And then once you get an answer and you've done some market research, now you're able to see what offers are out there and how you can make your offers so silly to say no and create a message that actually resonates with them.
And just like Daniel said, how you do that is by asking questions. It's why I ask a lot of questions in my Facebook group, not the controversial questions I ask on my personal wall, but the ones I ask in my Facebook group are, for example, about pay-per-click or about SEO. And you find out very quickly what people are mainly interested in. You could literally go into a group, Gerard, and go, what's the number one issue you have with pay-per-click agencies? And they're going to tell you all their pain points. So I can then take those pain points and write content and ad copy and website copy about their pain points and resolving their pain points and make my whole story around that. So Jeff, I know a guy that spent $6,000 a week for 10 years. I know Jeff spent a lot of money doing pay-per-click and ads. And he would tell you, do landers, call to actions, big ass buttons and phone numbers everywhere, and split test like a, what. So, all right, guys.
Jeff's the man. I see Jeff all over the place. I see Jeff like every day.
He's in Manila.
He knows. All right.
Jeff's been doing marketing for what, 40 years, I believe. So Tom was like, brother, just retire. He's in Manila. He's, he has health issues and some other things, but he's a good guy. Pay-per-click, like SEO, is changing all the time. If you're going to get involved, Jeff says, if you're going to get involved in pay-per-click, you got to stay up to date. So, hey, Daniel, can you assist with virtual sourcers? Hey, Daniel, can you assist with virtual sourcers who can identify and reach out to healthcare providers for me?
This is a recruiter, so we actually do help recruiters. It's actually it's called Rec to Rec. We do help recruiters find virtual assistant recruiters. We train them. So yes, that's something that we could help with. You want to reach out to me? I don't know how this application
I'll
works.
drop it for you. So that's a paired Facebook user. So Facebook user, if you can, just message me and I'll send you on to Daniel. He's on my friends list. So thank you.
So this is a recruiter that's actually looking for a recruiting assistant.
Yep. So he says, thank you. Jeff has 49 years marketing experience, 1 year to go. So he's actually from Australia.
Jeff, man, Jeff, you're on this now. It shows that he's on LinkedIn. I always see Jeff on Facebook, man. He's just always crushing it. He just doesn't stop. He knows the right questions to ask.
Yes, sir. I'm in. He says it's Eileen Ann. You're in Daniel's group, so she's already in your group.
Okay, I will. You could message me. Just message me, and I will try to provide you with any helpful information. And if I am able to provide a solution, because I'm all about providing solutions, we could hop on a call.
Yeah, Jeff says he's never going back to Australia. Graham had actually invited me over to Australia. They want me to come to Australia and do a SEO mastermind. But the thing is, I've seen some shit on the news with Australia, big ass snakes in gas stations and all types of crazy shit that could kill you. And no, thank you. But we are putting together an SEO conference, largest SEO conference in my mind. I know that the Philippines has ever seen.
I'm excited.
Right. Daniel will be there. We got like 16 different speakers. It will be over 2 days. So we got Craig Campbell, Chris Palmer, Daniel, myself, Zeke, Holly might be coming, working on her because her wife won't let her come. Kyle Roofs, he should be there. I booked a bunch of them. It's like 14 of them. Mike Merlino, Brock Misner, all of them.
My buddy Desmond
will be there. I invited him because he's the one that really started pushing me. He's like, push that short form content. I'm like, dude, I know how to do it. I just Yes, I'll do it. And Desmond pushed me to do it. So therefore I started pushing out more and more. That's why I pump out content left and right. So most people think I'm the one on Facebook and social media. That's my personal assistant. It's Mary Ann usually, or Mary Jane. She's the one that's doing all that for me. And then I have a social media marketer that does all my short form content. D, shout out to D. He's amazing. He is my VA that does my short form content, and he manages all that short form content for me. But that's one awesome gang. Yeah, we got like 14 of us, Jeff. It's going to be in Manila. We're expecting at minimum anywhere from 300 to 500 people. We could probably do closer to 1,000 if we wanted to dump it into about a 5-week, 5-day conference. But we're trying to do it in 2 days. So 300 people. We will have it available online. We will also have it virtually online where you can watch. We're also going to have it where you just standard ticket. We're also going to have a VIP ticket. We're also going to have lunch. We're going to have a bunch of stuff. Guest. And we're going to have after party as well. So probably going to do the after party in the Cove in Manila. So if you know where the Cove's at, it's in Okada. So
what's some good
resort.
food? What's some good food? What's some good food that we could that we should eat while we're in the Philippines?
I mean, if you're in Manila, most of their food, you can get very Americanized food, but I like Filipino natural food around here. Like
I want the
adobo. Yeah, adobo, lumpia, all that stuff. But I've been on a diet for the past month, so I haven't had any of those. Yep, I agree, Jeff. 2 days is ideal. 5 days is too long. I agree with you, brother. And it's expensive, but we got some people, some big names besides coming in for SEO. We got some big names coming in from the news stations from what I've been hearing. So no one's going to have it, and this is going to blow up a lot of things. So I'm trying to put it, why am I doing the conference? It has nothing to do with me and nothing whatsoever to do with me. The whole reason I want to do it is to put a spotlight on the Philippines where most people are outsourcing to as far as BPOs and getting virtual assistants from. So that's the whole reason I want to put a spotlight on the Philippines. So we need to go ahead and get going here. We're about done. I have more calls. I got to go hit the gym and stuff like that, but we will be back again next week at Daniel. Make sure to get your questions in. And until next time, we will see you then. You have a good one. Be blessed. I'll see you soon, Daniel.
Great. All right.
I have so many SEOs that hate me and say that I'm stealing their methods. They bitching and cry, labeling me SEO Black Hat. Was a nobody, now I'm at the top. Most wanted, most loved, bad business owners, and hated by most SEO opponents. You think you're an SEO god, but you're an SEO fraud. Guess I'm the SEO devil, shouting fuck the SEO guys. White hat SEO doesn't make sense, going with the goody goodies. Up in heaven dressed in white, I like black Tims, I like black hoodies. Fake SEOs up there probably have me on some real strict shit. No sleeping all day, no getting my dick licked. Hanging out with the goody two shoes, lounging in paradise, whole shit. Fuck that shit, I wanna use